bought a fist full of gear this year.
Rick the Don.
Rick, this is Donald Trump Jr.
Hey, Rick the Don.
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 I see you at the top, Rick the Don. Salute.
Black Americans are the weakest group of people, or the weakest race that has graced this planet in maybe the last 2 centuries. Terribly weak, can't be organized, can't support one another. And I know why now. It's taken me a long time to figure it out. It's because of weak ancestors. That's why Black Americans are so weak mentally, physically, spiritually as a race of people, because they come from weak ancestors. Most of Black Americans, their ancestors come from West Africa. And in West Africa, stronger Africans enslaved weaker Africans. You have to ask yourself, these Africans had to be weak in order to be enslaved in the first place. And then when it came to the transatlantic trade, when the Europeans came over, that is where those slaves came from. They came from more dominant Africans. And, it wasn't necessarily about race. It was about economics and things of that nature. So the stronger Africans sold off the weaker Africans to the Europeans, because you would have to be a weak person to be enslaved in the first place. And then those Europeans brought these weaker Africans, more susceptible Africans, these more obeying Africans to America. And hence we have Black Americans, these very, very fragile and weak Black Americans who will put $1 above anything because they're used to not having anything. Their foundation is weak. It doesn't matter how strong a person is or how they look. If their foundation is weak, they are weak. It doesn't matter how big a tree is, how strong a tree is. If the roots of the tree are weak, then the tree is weak. And that is why I say Black Americans are the weakest race in the last 2 centuries, because their foundation is weak. Black Americans, as prominent and strong as they look today, they come from very weak people. Now, why am I saying this? Because we have to look at ourselves critically as a race so that we can actually get stronger, because we have grown stronger than our ancestors. But we're kind of like a dog that was very nice initially, and then the master kept smacking it, and now it bites at everything walking by. So while Black people are more aggressive, their aggression is not channeled in a way that's progressive. So therefore, they're still weak. As a people, you wonder why. Why did this happen? Why is this person? Why don't we have a Black president? Why we don't have more of this? Why? It's no organization. You just have a lot of people in these small sects walking around, creating chaos amongst themselves, destroying their own communities, destroying themselves, raising their kid. Like, listen to our music. Does that music sound like it comes from a strong group of people? Of course not. We're selling ourselves poison so that a few can get rich, right? And then you have Black elites who are basically the bottom of a pyramid. Like, seriously, you have Black elites worth millions and billions of dollars, and they think that they're doing well for themselves. But in reality, they're the actual bottom rung of a full pyramid. The very top is the bottom rung of the pyramid, right? Because they don't have the strength to say, wait a minute, I have this, I have that. Let me build something for my own. But they're afraid to do that because first, they're weak, and number two, they're afraid of losing endorsements and support. So, thank you for listening. This was a self-critical analysis of the Black race, which I'm a part of. And I know that nothing grows from naivety. You have to look at things critically in order to find the mistakes and then to progress. So as I said, Black Americans are incredibly weak. Until